What in the world is... What are these for? What is that? What in the world? What the heck are these for? And these? And these? 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 What? I got a problem. Hey everybody, I'm Jay Ball, Blue Jays Outdoors, and yeah, some of you are probably wondering what all this stuff is. For those of you that make maple syrup, this is a pretty familiar sight, especially this time of year. But what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to show you guys all the equipment I use. So as far as tubing goes, as far as taps go, end hooks, tees, all this stuff right here, I'm going to show you guys what this is, because I need to order more supplies. So I need to order some more taps because I put all new taps in, or I'm going to put all new taps in this year. There's also a few pieces of equipment that I need to buy that I haven't had before, so really excited about that. So let me show you guys what all this stuff is and what it all means to the maple syrup world, and yeah, let's try to make some sense out of all this stuff. Oh man, hold on. Well, I guess it's time to show you guys what these four things are that I mostly use. So probably the most common thing, or the most thing people are used to seeing, is a tap or a splile. These things have been through decades of modifications and changes. They used to start off as wood taps back when the Native Americans did it, and then they switched to metal taps, and then they went to these plastic taps. So these are 5/16 tree saver taps from Leader. And this is the part you put into the tree. So you drill a hole in the tree. There's a specific size drill that we use, and there's a specific type of drill we use, which I'll explain during the season what that is. You tap it in, and then this end is the end that you put a piece of the tubing on. So what it looks like when it's all complete is just like this, okay? So the sap flows through this tube and then can dump into a bucket. And I have a bucket here with a hole in it. Let me show you. So you put the end of the tube into this hole in the bucket, and then the sap collects in there, runs into there, and then you drain the bucket. So a lot of times people put the holes on the tops. I do not do that because of rain. Water can get inside there pretty easily, so I actually put the hole in the side of the bucket. And I can give you guys a whole breakdown as to why I do that, show you guys that out in the field, but or out in the sugar bush. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward. So that is the most basic type of tap and tube that, you know, this is how I started off with, was just these right here. Now that I'm running multiple taps into collection buckets, so you see I got these blue barrels here. I've got 15 and 30 gallon barrels, so I actually will run about 15 to 20 taps through the tubing, or through the taps into the tubes into the barrels. So you've got these connectors called Ys right here, and then you've also got connectors that are Ts. So this is for connecting tubing and taps down along your run. Here's an example of one that I have already put together. So this is the end hook. This is right here, so you guys can see this. Okay, so this end hook will get some wire wrapped around a tree, and then you cinch this down into a tree. Then you can add these Ys. So here's two taps that feed into this Y, that feed into this tube here. And then as it works its way through the trees, it could come to this T here, right? So we would hook this end of this tube to here, connect that too. And then this would feed into this T, the sap would. This hook would have wire wrapped around a tree. And then this T would drop in down to a bucket. So I'll show you guys this, you know, I'll show you actually how I set all this up and how I run my tubing in my sugar bush, but that's pretty basic, you know, as far as how to run tubing. And I can show you guys actually something that I want to get to make this a heck of a lot easier as far as running tubing goes and putting this stuff together. Now that we've discussed some of the terminology as far as the components goes, I have a bag of taps here already. I have a bag of T's, a bag of Y's, and then a bag of end hooks. I did the count on here. There's probably about 50 or so taps, so that means I need to order about 150, probably order 200 more, because when you buy them by the 100, it's actually cheaper. So I'm going to need to buy 200 more taps. I'm going to need to buy some more T's, some more Y's, and possibly some more end hooks. Now, I already have all of my tubing run that I ran last year, so all of it's been put together. I just cut all the taps off because I want to put new taps on all the lines, because there is such a thing as called tap life, and I'll explain that as the season progresses. I promise this will all make a lot more sense once we get into the season. You guys can actually see this stuff hanging in the tree. So I need to place an order for all that stuff. I probably need to get some more tubing, because that is all the tubing that I have there, and I plan on adding some more taps. So I need to order another 500-foot spool of that. So let's order it. And thanks to Movie Magic, guess what? We already have our box of supplies. So really super excited about all this stuff. So here's the new pair of tubing pliers, the Pruno tuning pliers, or tubing pliers that I've been wanting to have. So huge upgrade. I'll show you what these are all about here in a second. So I got some more taps. There's a bag of 100 more taps. And there are my end hooks. And then here are my T's, so I got 100 more T's. And then let's see, here are my T's, another bag of T's. Now this bag of T's are actually kind of interesting. There's a reason why they're green. I'll explain this to you in just a minute. And let's see, here's another bag of 100 taps. Here are some Y's. And last but not least, I have my new grading stickers, so you guys can tell much easier the grade of syrup. And of course they're all upside down, so let me turn these around. So you got your dark, your amber, your golden delicate, and your very dark. So I've got some new labels I'm going to put on my bottles this year. And then I also got 2 new hydrometers, which I'll show you guys these here in a second, why I wanted these ones. These are the Easy Read hydrometers. And yeah, these are pretty slick, so let's check this stuff out. Okay, so these Pruno tubing pliers are amazing, and I've been wanting a pair of these for a long time. They're pretty expensive, but man, they are so convenient when you want to put tubing up. They've got this cutter here that cuts the tube. They've got these pliers that hang onto the tubing. They're just so slick. So let me show you this real quick. So you slide your 5/16 tubing in, let's say. Clamp that one down, clamp that down. So now it's clamped, you can see. And then check this out. This has a cutter. You pull this forward, it cuts the tubing for you. You can open it up, and now you insert your T, which, let me grab a T over here just to show you guys. Check this out. So you take your T fitting, stick it in between. Need to open this up just a hair so I've got more room. And let's see. Still figuring these out. Just started using them, so. Put that end in there. Put that in there. There we go. Check this out. Slides together. Normally I have to do that with hot water in the woods, and it is a complete pain in the butt, but there you have it. That is how quick those connections go together. So these Pliers, these are not the best pair they have. It's one of the nicer, smaller producer sizes, but that right there, folks, is an absolute game changer. Sorry, it's a little bit cumbersome trying to do this with a camera and not hit it too bad. I did bump the camera a few times. But yeah, that's huge right there, folks. That is that's nice. That's really nice. These are going to help me a lot, and I will show you how I use them actually in the field, so no worries there. Real quick, I want to show you the difference between these 2 T's. So these 2 T's are new for this year. I've never used these ones before. And let's start with the green one first. Now this green one actually has a dead stop in it for a reason. Okay, so you can see there's a hole here for the sap to flow through and a hole here for the sap to flow through. And why I bought these this year is because what I want to do is I want to take the hooks that I showed you guys. So let me find one here. So I want to take this end hook and wrap the tubing around the tree and hook the tube back into itself, or hook the hook on the tube. I want to try to eliminate this right here because you get some sap built up. So I'm going to replace this tap or this T with this T, so you can see there's no sap going through there. So I'll be able to put this into place. The sap will hit this hole here and drop down into my drop line, so now I can actually have the tubing wrapped around the tree and not the metal wire. So huge upgrade for me. Never used these before, but this is something new I'm trying this year. Also too, something that's different on these T's, so you can see this T right here, okay? It has this this plug on it, and what this is for is you can actually put your tubing on there. You can, before you put the tap on, you can actually hold the tube on there, so that's kind of nice. But what's different about these is these have what's called a health cup on them, okay? So when you have your tap on your tubing, okay, you can actually take your tap in the T and you can put it in there, so now tap is not exposed to bacteria and stuff before you actually tap the tree. So this is, so when I hang the lines, I can actually put this T on and put the tap in and leave it in there for a couple weeks. Then I'm ready to tap. I just pull the tap out of the T and then I stick this in the tree. So these T's with this health cup on here are going to be a huge game changer for me as well. Now, I know I went through that probably kind of quick, but again, it's going to make a lot more sense when I show you guys what all this stuff here looks like actually in the woods while I'm hanging up the taps. Like I said, I'm going to give you guys a full look inside view as to what it actually takes to make Bluties maple syrup. I'm going to show you all the processes, how I'm going to hang this tubing, how I'm going to build it. I just want to make it as easy as for you guys, if you're interested in getting into making maple syrup, to have you learn from some of the mistakes that I've made. You know, simple one is putting the tubing on the side of the bucket instead of in the top. I see a lot of people do that. It gives a chance for more water and grime and dirt and stuff to fall into the bucket, so that's why I always put the tap on, or the hole on the side of the bucket. So I'll give you guys all those kind of tips and tricks, do not worry. So really do appreciate you guys watching this quick video just on all of the equipment I use just for tapping. I do have another box full of all my filters, my hydrometers, all that kind of stuff, my defoaming agent. I'll make another video on that just so I can kind of keep this stuff separate, because there is a lot of stuff to it, but I want to try to make it easy as possible. So really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Again, my name's Jay, Bald Bluties Outdoors. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you know anytime I post a new video. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. That's blue_J_maple_syrup. And remember, the easiest way to change your attitude is by showing gratitude. Thanks, and we'll catch you next time. Oh, we're getting close.